there, welcome to Mac TV. My name is Mac, and this is a channel dedicated for first-time managers who are just looking to up-level their skills, build their confidence, so that they can lead their teams effectively. Okay, so as you probably already guessed from the title of the video, this video topic is all about just rookie manager mistakes. I'm going to be discussing some of the most common mistakes that I see a lot of new managers make, and if you stay with me until the end, I'm going to be sharing with you a free resource that you can actually use to make course correction if you notice as I'm going through this video that you're making some of these mistakes yourself. Okay, so the first mistake that I see a lot of new managers make is that they are simply not direct enough. Now, a lot of new managers find themselves in this situation where they're not being direct enough about what needs to improve, what's wrong, what needs to change, either with their colleagues, their team members, or even their own boss. Now, what I've found is that there's two reasons behind why this actually happens. Number one is because there is a fear of confrontation, which I totally understand. And number two is because there is this deep-seated desire to be liked, which I 100% understand. I mean, who doesn't like to be liked? But here's the problem. Not being direct enough actually leads to a host of problems. For example, a manager that is not direct enough with their team members will usually experience poor performance because team members are not necessarily clear on what is expected of them. The other thing that it does is it actually lowers team morale, so it causes a low team morale. I'll tell you why that is. When a manager chooses to either shy away from the hard truths that need to be said, or they maybe sugarcoat what needs to be said, they're actually sending two messages. So number one, they're sending a message to the high performers on their team that performance doesn't matter. And for a high achiever, that's a pretty big hit because they really care about their deliverables. That and the fact that they don't really want to be on a team with people that are not performing well. The second message it sends is to the ones that are not performing well that there is no standard that they will be held accountable for. The other thing that it does when a manager is not direct either with their team members, colleagues, or boss is it actually also sends a message to their boss that they're not capable enough to have this position. So usually the manager will lose trust or even respect of that team lead. Now, the second mistake that a lot of new managers make is they either micromanage or they macromanage. Now, I know that a lot of us know how freaking annoying and detrimental it is actually to work with someone that micromanages. Yet it happens all the time, particularly with first-time managers. Now, there are a couple of reasons why this happens for a first-time manager, but one of the root causes is because of the fact that there is a lack of training. So usually a first-time manager is like thrust into a role and they don't necessarily understand their role properly, nor do they know how to delegate. And so because of that, they end up trying to do all the work, and any work that is left to team members, well, they watch over it carefully because they recognize that it's a reflection of them. So of course, this causes micromanagement. Now, on the flip side, there are some managers that tend to macromanage. So these are the managers that are so like laissez-faire with things that you kind of won't even know who is the manager of the team. Now, this happens with a first-time manager oftentimes, again, because they're not sure of how they fit in and they don't want to like piss anybody off. So they stay a couple steps back and allow their team members to do whatever it is they want. Now, I'm a type of person that loves autonomy. I 100% believe in autonomy. However, team members need direction. So macro management, even though you might think that's the better way to do things, is actually also detrimental and a huge mistake because, like I said, team members need to know what they're doing, why they're doing it, and where they're going. The third mistake that I see a lot of new managers make is that they don't take the time to prepare for challenging and difficult situations. Now, I know it's pretty much impossible to always know what's going to happen, but part of coming out strong on the other end of any situation is at least having a plan. Now, one of the most crucial things that I teach in the New Manager Accelerator program is the art of preparing for a difficult conversation. We talk about lean-in sentences that should be used during this conversation. We talk about specific words that you want to eliminate from your vocabulary during the conversation so that you're not, having the defenses go up. And we also talk about body language to watch out for, whether that be, your own body language or the other person's body language. All of this helps you to be far better equipped to deal with whatever comes your way. But if you have not prepared, then you're going to be anxious and stressed. And when you're anxious and stressed about something, a difficult conversation, then you're far more likely to mess it up or to say something that maybe you shouldn't, that will then lead to a reaction that you do not want to have. This is why it's really, really important to be prepared. A suggestion that I make to plenty of my students when it comes to having a difficult conversation that I want to pass on to you is to actually just role play it. I know it sounds silly, but just role playing what you're going to say and how you're going to say it is actually going to help you feel a lot more confident when the time comes. So pick someone that you are comfortable with and that you trust to role play, the full conversation with so that you will be better prepared. The fourth mistake that many new managers make is that they do not spend time with their team members. Now, I'm not saying that you have to have BFF status with your team members, but what I am saying is that it's really important for you to know them so that you understand them. Managers that do not understand their team, well, what happens is they do not earn their respect, they don't have their trust, and as a result, they get poor results because it's pretty much impossible to have sustained really good results with a team that you do not know or understand. I mean, sure, you might for a limited amount of time get people to do what you say because you're the boss, right? So because of that title, people will do what you say, but that has a limited shelf life. What has a more sustained shelf life is you truly understanding them, truly understanding what motivates them so that you can place them in the positions that are strategically right. If you understand your team members, then you are able to go further faster with the entire team, which is why I'm saying it's really, really important to spend time with them so that you understand them. Now, at the beginning of this video, I did mention that I had a free resource for you that I know will definitely help combat some of these mistakes that I mentioned. So the new Manager Starter Kit is actually a guide that will walk you through some of the most critical shifts that you need to make as a brand new manager in order to be effective. I highly suggest that you check the details of that out, and I will put the link for that in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. I hope you found it valuable, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Like I said, I hope you have a fantastic rest of the week. Don't forget to keep smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.